form is perfect. I'm like Jerry Rice. Feel that stride. So fluid and fast. I've got the stride of a gazelle. A beautiful, beautiful gazelle person. My body is achieving a perfect symmetry right now. It's that long, lean muscle I've worked so hard to achieve. I should have popped my shirt off. God damn it. I really should have popped that shirt off. I wonder if any women are watching from the sidelines.
All right, welcome to the third installment of the Tuck Rule podcast. First off, just want to start off by thanking our sponsors. And I have no idea why we have sponsors or where they came from. I don't know where we're getting these people. But Haynes Repair Manual sponsoring us today, along with High Point Farms Chocolate Milk. The children where Rob works, for those of you who know him, were supposed to drink these, but instead he just stole all of them and brought them home. So thank you, High Point Farms. We'll go ahead and get started. It started with some fantasy information from this week. So in our fantasy league, which I know none of you care about, Colin went to Europe this week. I don't think he's ever coming back. So yeah, that's great. Callie, your dad's not coming back. But so while in Europe, he decided not to do his fantasy lineup with 4 players scoring 0 points. And somehow he still scored the most points in the week. I think he's a gypsy. And I don't know what he's doing, but I'm going to find out. We're going to start a weekly segment called Top 5, Bottom 3. We're going to go over the top 5 teams in the NFL, along with the general poopiest teams in the NFL, which will be our bottom 3. Top 5, a couple of these are fairly obvious. The Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, who we told you last week was a robot, and he is. So I don't really understand why the NFL is allowing him to play, but whatever, I guess it's legal. So Denver takes our top spot. Seattle didn't play very well last week, but the looks of it, they're going to have home field advantage on the playoffs, at least the way we're going now, and it's going to be very tough to beat at home. So we have them too. New Orleans looking a lot better this year with their head coach back, and then we'll round out the top 5 with the Patriots, Tom Brady, and a surprise team, the Detroit Lions, who looking pretty good, and I actually like them this week. So I'm going to go with them. Our bottom 3, go with the New York Football Giants, who are god-awful, but not quite as god-awful as the final 2 teams, the Oakland Raiders. Matt Flynn looked like he had never seen a football before while playing this Sunday, so that was a great job by him. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, who could be the worst team I've ever seen play football. They suck. So now we are, since most teams with... except for the teams that had a bye last week, are a fourth quarter of the way through the season. So we can take a look back at our year predictions, see how we're doing there. Actually doing not too bad. NFC East, we had the Cowboys. They are leading that awful division. In the NFC North, we had Green Bay. Currently a game out of first in that division, but I think they'll come on by the end of the year. We had Atlanta and New Orleans both making the playoffs. That looks good as well. The one thing I realized I forgot was I somehow forgot that the Seattle Seahawks are an NFL team, and I forgot to put them in there. So yeah, that didn't work out well. But San Francisco will still make the playoffs from that division, but at least going to miss one there because obviously Seattle will. In the AFC, looking fairly good as well. Patriots leading that division along with the Bengals leading theirs. Broncos, pretty easy pick. And then our 2 wildcard teams, Chiefs and Titans, one 4-0, the other 3-1. That's looking good as well. Last week in betting, which I again don't do because it's frowned upon in my family. Quick backstory, my mother once feared that when I played Poker Stars online that I was going to get addicted to gambling, so hopefully she never finds out that I'm giving these betting tips to you. Would not be appreciated. But last week we gave you San Francisco minus 3.5. They blew out the St. Louis Rams on Thursday night. Rob Boyd just walked in, stealing more stuff from the kids. But yeah, so we've given you 2 winners so far. This week I'm going to give you 2 picks. Patriots plus 1.5 on the road in Cincinnati. I can't understand. I mean, I understand Cincinnati's at home. They should not be favored in that game. I think the Patriots will win that outright. We'll go 28-20 there in that game. And then the Detroit Lions will be in Green Bay, plus 7.5 there in that spread. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I like both offenses in that game. And in a game I think that's going to be pretty even. Give me the points there. And our interesting story of the week, Dante Whitner, the San Francisco 49ers, who's been fined a few times for big hits this year, decided it would be a brilliant idea to go ahead and change his name. He's dropping the W from his name, so that he's now going to be known as Dante Hittner. I can't tell you how creative this man is. That's just brilliant. I'm sure that will cause the NFL to start fining him less. Brilliant move there. He said he had planned to do this during the offseason, but that his mother did not want him to do it, but that she finally relented and allowed him to. In his quote from ESPN.com, he said, "I'm forever going to be her son and her little boy, so I have to listen to what she says. After all these hits and people talking about it, I again asked her 3 nights ago. She said, I don't have a problem with it. Go ahead. So I went ahead and did it yesterday." Well, Mama Whitner, I don't agree with your parenting skills there. Your son's name change is probably going to cost him a great deal of money, because every time he makes a hit, he's probably going to get fined. So that's great there. And lastly, next week we may have a historic NFL line that we haven't seen before. Jacksonville will be visiting Denver. As we said, Jacksonville, one of the probably the single worst team I've ever watched play football. They will be traveling to Denver to play Peyton Manning and the Broncos. That line could get north of 28 points, which is the highest line they've seen since they started making NFL lines for football games. And as tempting as it would be to take 28 points with Jacksonville, I don't think I can. Because again, they suck. Then lastly, in my winning moment of the day, I had the day off, so went to Wawa to get myself a sub. Went with turkey. Controversial decision there. And I said, do I really need the classic? Nah, we'll just go with the shorty. So I ordered the shorty sub. Turns out they're out of shorty rolls. This guy got to upgrade to a classic for free. Alright, and Callie and I are going to be signing off. We once again want to thank High Point Farms for their incredible chocolate milk. And then also to our most important sponsor, Haynes Repair, in particular the Jeep Wrangler from 1987 through 2008. You guys do great work, and this really comes in handy, so thank you again.